Okay, my name is Matthew Comer. I'm a Star Wars fan that has decided to record my own predictions slash hopes and dreams with some bias on what I think the shows that Dave Filoni is tied to for the next upcoming years, which will include The Bad Batch. It's an animated show. I'm assuming he's in charge of it. The Boba Show, the Mandalorian, the Ahsoka Show, as well as the Rangers of the New Republic. I'm going to be talking about all my predictions for those. I'm going to start with the Bad Batch. This video is going to be it's going to be all me rambling. I'm going to be jumping from topic to topic, probably. I'm going to try not to, but I probably will. And I don't know if I'm going to upload this, but I want to record this video to have it in the future in case any of this actually does happen. So I'm going to start with the Bad Batch, which I'm recording this on February 22nd, 2021. I think we are getting information on the Bad Batch this week. I saw some news article somewhere. Whether the source was reliable or not, I don't know. I was being a biased. Clone Wars is where I got my start. Well, Clone Wars is where my love of Star Wars came from. I was a fan of Star Wars from when I was little, but I became a deep Star Wars fan with Clone Wars. And then Rebels more recently, to where Rebels actually might be my favorite show of all time. Might be my favorite Star Wars content of all time. That also might be recency bias, so I'm going to stop there because I'm already rambling and getting off track. Okay, I think we're getting Bad Batch information this week coming from Disney 23. I saw that on a website somewhere. Don't know if it's true or not. I hope it is. Well, it said in February, and this is the last week of February. So I'm assuming we'll get it this week. Okay. So my prediction for the Bad Batch is... there's been a trailer out for 2 months now since their Disney's press conference, investor conference. So I think originally... I think the first season, I think there actually might be a decent bit that's before Order 66. Because there was supposedly in Clone Wars, in canceled episodes that were in the unfinished episodes, there was a Kashyyyk arc, and then there was at least an episode, I don't know if it was a full arc or not, where there was supposedly Boba Fett was involved and Cad Bane was involved. Whether that had connections to the Bad Batch or not, I don't know. But I think the show will start out before Order 66, and we're gonna see Order 66 from their perspective, which is going to be awesome. I don't think they're gonna kill any Jedi. I don't think they are. I think they're going to get the order and then be not say anything back, but in their own heads think, why would we go along with this? But they're gonna play it out as if they did. Because Luminara got shot down by her own troops and Yoda escaped from Kashyyyk. So then they go back to Coruscant, as you see in the trailer. And they are lined up with all the other clone troopers as Emperor Palpatine talks about how the Galactic Empire. And so they do that. And then you see them in the trailer. They go back to Coruscant. Or not Coruscant, Kamino. So then I think the scene in the trailer... I'm not going to show up trailers or or play any clips because I don't want this to get copyrighted at all. This is purely for the fact of I want to upload this to YouTube just so I can look back at it 10 years plus down the line, or maybe even 5 years down the line if any of this, or maybe even 3 if any of this stuff comes true. Because I think what I predict, I think everything I'm predicting is either going to happen or not happen within 3 years. So I think they're going to go back to Camino. Well, they obviously do go back to Camino. And then you see them start fighting other clones in that. But then there's also a scene where you see them taking on the challenges that like we saw Domino Squad, like that the training facility where Domino Squad was in Clone Wars, but with like what looks like the Darth Troopers that we like just saw in Mandalorian, in season 2 of Mandalorian. Also, there will be spoilers in this. I think that's kind of obvious that because I will be talking about past shows, but this is probably not going to be. I doubt I'd be spoiling this for anybody who watches this video, because if you watch this video without having like, why would you care about previous Star Wars if you haven't paid attention to past Star Wars, whatever. And so, I think I think it's Tarkin says very impressive. I think that's for them completing the course. And I think the other clones get mad at them because they're so much better than them. And then that's where the fight breaks out. But I see them leaving I see the Bad Batch leaving the Empire, defecting, and becoming mercenaries. I could totally see them working. Now this is right after Order 66, because Kashyyyk I see them not participating in Order 66. I think Echo's chip is either offline or already got removed. Or maybe Echo tries, but I don't think the rest of the Bad Batch have the chips. And so I think the rest of the Bad Batch maybe stops Echo. Or maybe they realize what's going on. I don't want them. I like the Bad Batch. I think they're cool, so therefore I don't want them to be bad guys. So therefore I want them to not do Order 66. So, therefore, my predictions are biased because I'm predicting them not to because I don't want them to. Let's see. I also hope that this isn't going to be an 8 episodes seasons with Bad Batch because it's animated, and I'm assuming it's going to be like Clone Wars where it's like 12 episodes. And because I feel like if it's only 8 episodes, I don't think we're going to, unless it's longer episodes, I don't think we'd get far enough in one season for it to be like, man, yeah, there's a storyline going on here. Now, hey, Dave Filoni's awesome. He could totally surprise me. And it'd be 8 episodes, they're short, normal Clone Wars length, and I'm still learn a lot about Bad Batch. I guess I'm thinking of these will all be 23-minute episodes, like normal TV series that are in 30-minute time slots are, but again, we don't know. I think Bad Batch is coming out first of all the TV shows, and I think we could see it as early as May. If I'm being told, I could see it May with maybe the slight chance of April, but I feel like if it was coming out in April, I feel like we would have already heard about it by this point. Now again, maybe we hear about it this week, but I feel like if they want to hype this show up, I feel like that's something you leave more than 2 months for. because I'm going to look up real quick. When was the first Clone Wars Season 7 trailer? Okay, this was the official trailer that came out like a month before the first episode. Okay. Okay, oh, that actually ruins my plan. We actually had the first trailer for Season 7 of Clone Wars in 2018 in the summer. Man, I really hope Bad Batch isn't a year and a half off. Because if Bad Batch isn't coming first, like in the summer, I think the next show after the next possible show that would come out would be Boba Fett show. Which, back to what I think that happens. Okay, so we see, back to what I think's happening. Predictions. So in the Bad Batch trailer, we see Finnick from The Mandalorian, and she was a bounty hunter. I think after the Bad Batch leaves the Empire, now again, you also see fighting, like battles, not hand-to-hand combat between the Bad Batch and the clones, but you see like battles on planets. I could totally see the Bad Batch, that being part of their mercenary missions. Because apparently in the description of the trailer, it says they become like mercenaries. And they're trying to get jobs. And so I could totally see them working for Jabba. I also could see them joining the rebels. The Rebel Alliance against the Empire. I could totally see that. But I don't know. I think that would be something, if we do see it, I think that would happen in the last episode of season 1. Because the Bad Batch is something that I think could go on for more than one season. I'm probably forgetting something that I wanted to say about the Bad Batch, but I'm going to move on to the Boba Fett show. Because I've already spent 13 minutes on the Bad Batch show. Okay, Boba Fett show, I really have no idea what we're getting. It's going to be the show I talk the least about, because like the way they announced it was Boba sitting in shooting the dude, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and then sitting in the chair in Jabba's palace, as if he's taking over, and Finnick standing next to him. Now I could say the Bad Batch show. I could totally see the Bad Batch showing up in live action. I could totally see them still being mercenaries this long down the road and working for Boba, because apparently they have some connection with him earlier on in some unfinished Clone Wars episodes that had some connection with Boba. So I could totally see that happening. But I don't know how much connection the Boba Fett show has between the Mandalorian, the Ahsoka show, and the Rangers of the New Republic show. So I'm going to spend legit 2 minutes on the Boba Fett show. I don't know what's going on. To be honest, it's the show I'm the least looking forward to. In order of shows I'm looking forward to, the Ahsoka show's number 1. I think Bad Batch is 2. Mando Season 3 is probably 3rd on my list. I think I would say Rangers of the New Republic is 4 because we know absolutely nothing about it. Like, the Boba show we know is at least about Boba Fett. Rangers of the New Republic, we have no idea who that's about. And it's like, I think the Boba show is going to be good. It's just, for me personally, it's the show I'm looking forward to the least. Okay. So, the next show that would come out after Boba, I think, would be The Mandalorian Season 3. I think The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to be a lot like the first couple seasons of Rebels, where they're doing a lot of missions to try to build up, to like get ships, get supplies, get fuel. I think it's going to be a lot like Rebels Season 1, 2, and 3, where there's not really like an in-game point yet that feels super important. You know what the in-game point is, which is going to be retaking Mandalore. But I think a lot of it is going to be missions where it's Mando, Bo-Katan. I think we could see other than the other girl that was played by Sasha Banks. I think we could see the dude from episode 11, episode 3 of the second season of Mandalorian. I think he'll be back. I don't know if we'll see Boba, because I think Boba is going to be about taking over Jabba's empire and making it his. I think that's what the Boba Fett show is going to be about. I think it's going to be about that. I don't think it's going to have any connection at all to the Mandalorian, or Ahsoka show, or the Rangers of the Republic. Now maybe it will, and it'll end up connecting to the climactic event that's supposed to happen between all three. That are supposed to happen between all three. And so I think for season 3 that's what mainly it's going to be about. I don't think they're going to end up retaking Mandalore back in season 3. I don't know what the season 3 finale is going to be. Also, is Bo-Katan actually going to be okay with Din having the Darksaber? I think it's going to be like how Bo-Katan was with Sabine, where at first she doesn't have trust. But I think Din's going to show leadership. And now I also think that Bo-Katan might not find him I think she might have a problem with how long he's been a Mandalorian and how he became a Mandalorian. But I think in the Mandalorian, I think we could see Finn Rao, because I think we will see Sabine Wren. I think she will be connected. I think we'll see her in both The Mandalorian Season 3, and I think we'll see her in the Ahsoka show. I think we could see Finn Rao. I think we could see Sabine's brother. I think Sabine's mom by this point, I don't know if she would be... She might be old enough to where it's hard for her to fight. at this point, and also it's like, where's the rest of like Bo-Katan's clan? It's like I think Bo-Katan knows where other Mandalorians are, whereas Din didn't know where any other Mandalorians were. I think Bo-Katan does. So, then moving on to the Ahsoka show, I think that's going to be the search for Ezra. Actually, I think it's going to be the search for Ezra to where they're finding out where he is. I think this is before the Rebels epilogue. I think that the Ahsoka show is before the Rebels epilogue. I think the Rebels epilogue, where Sabine goes up to the mural that she painted, most likely, and touches Ezra's face on the mural, I think the Ahsoka show happens before that. I think the Ahsoka show is finding the information of where is Ezra, and I think that epilogue where Ahsoka shows up with a staff behind Sabine, and they get in Ahsoka's ship, and that ship was escorted by X-wings. I think that is the moment they're going to go get Ezra back. Now, I will say I think there's a chance that they just pull him out of the world beyond worlds, but I kind of hope they don't, even though I kind of see that happening. But what I could also see happening is they find Ezra during the Ahsoka show, and then I think the grand event. So I think the grand event that's the Mandalorian, the Ahsoka show, and the Rangers of the New Republic, that they're supposed to this climactic event. I think that's them leaving. So if you were to have a show that started right with that Rebels epilogue, I think that's going to be the climactic event. Now, I also think that could be them going to get Ezra, and that Thrawn is not with Ezra. I think there's a chance that Thrawn is not with Ezra, and they're going to get Ezra, that Sabine and Ahsoka go get Ezra from the world beyond worlds, and then all of them combine to go get Thrawn. I could see that happening as well. But my prediction is that during the Ahsoka show, she's trying to find out where Thrawn is, because Thrawn and Ezra are together. Ezra doesn't have his lightsaber. Sabine has Ezra's lightsaber. Ezra did get shot too, so I wonder if that has any impact on his current state. Because Thrawn shot Ezra in, it was like the left shoulder, I think. Because I finished rewatching Rebels again for like the third or fourth time today. Which is why I'm making this video, because right now I'm super passionate about finding Ezra. Cried quite a bit today, because I basically watched like all of season 4, and just like, so seeing Kanan die, seeing Hondo say, "I'll do anything for that boy." Let's just say I had some tears rolling down my eyes today. Okay, so. And then the Rangers of the New Republic. That's the last show. I have a couple of different predictions with this. I think the Rangers of the New Republic, this is going to be my more wild prediction. I think the Rangers of the New Republic could be the Bad Batch. I think the Bad Batch could have joined the Rebel Alliance, and they are the Rangers of the New Republic. Because we have no idea, we have not heard any news about the Rangers of the New Republic TV show. And I think we could get Bad Batch in live action in the Rangers of the New Republic, and I think that would be a kick-ass TV show. That's kind of like That's my more biased prediction that I don't actually think's happening. That's what I hope for. My actual prediction is that it's going to be Cara Dune. It's going to be a show based on Cara Dune where she's the main character. Now, yes, the actor that played Cara Dune has been fired. I think that was the show that was last on their docket anyways to come out. So they have plenty of time to recast Cara Dune as someone else. I want it to be The Bad Batch because I think that would be super... That would make me super excited for that TV show. Because think of, like, how kick-ass The Bad Batch would be if they were live action. Now, I will say, the special effects would have to be super on point, which I think Jon Favreau, with his Marvel work, I think he's the perfect person for this job. So, now, to be in charge of this with Filoni, which we are calling this the Filoni first because he basically writes it, and him and John are in charge of it. And so, I think the Rangers of the New Republic could actually be a Bad Batch in live action after they have left the Empire and said, wait a minute, we just fought a war. To be puppets in some crazy dude's game with the whole purpose of having us turn on Jedi. And I think them fighting with Captain Rex, I think Captain Rex could show up in the Rangers of the New Republic too. I think Captain Rex could show up in that, and I think he will show up in the Ahsoka show. Or at least in the climactic event. I think we will see a Captain Rex in live action 100%. I could also see there being a Commander. I could also see Commander Wolf being in the Rangers of the Republic, and I could see it. Now again, this is me being the Clone Wars fan bias that wants it to be Clone Wars live action, but fighting for the rebellion that I know isn't, or Palpatine isn't just puppetizing every part of it. To where they're actually fighting. Well, actually, at this point, Emperors are dead. So, but I think the more realistic approach is that it's a Cara Dune show. And I think I think the fact that they didn't say it was a Cara Dune show at the reveal says that they've been trying to fire that actor for a while. Which is unfortunate. I think the actor's perfect for the character, but I mean, Disney's going to do what Disney's going to do. So, do I agree with what she said? No. Would I have fired her? Probably not. Okay. And so, as I already said, I think the climactic event is getting Ezra back, or at least going after Thrawn if they've already gotten Ezra out of the World Beyond Worlds. But how would Ezra connect all three? Okay, well, Ezra was part of the Republic. Ahsoka's part of the Republic. The whole Phoenix Squad was part of the Republic. I think they would like to get Commander Bridger back. Or actually, I think he got promoted. I think he was Lieutenant Commander or something. So he was, or actually he might have been General. I don't remember if he was General. I don't think so. But he was a high ranking, and he's a Jedi. I think they're going to want him back. Ahsoka, I think that one's pretty obvious. Especially with the, I guess, banner of the Ahsoka show being like the whole World Beyond Worlds symbol. Now then, how does it connect to the Mandalorian? Okay, Sabine's a Mandalorian. We all want her to have romantic relationships with Ezra. We all kind of want Ezra Bean to be a thing. But she wasn't involved in season 2, so it would feel like she would have to become quite a main character in season 3 to turn the Mandalorian all the way there. So I don't see that being. I mean, Bo-Katan, I think she was, I wouldn't say friends with, but respected Ezra in the fact that he helped fight for Mandalore. But I think Thrawn's on Mandalore. I think if Thrawn and Ezra are both on Mandalore, that is, in my opinion, the best reason to why there would be a big climactic event that would connect all 3 shows. Bo-Katan badly wants to take back Mandalore. Ahsoka and Sabine want Ezra back. The Republic would like to take down Thrawn, as well as return the people of Mandalore to their homeworld. But then there's also the now, we don't know when this climactic event is. We don't know if this is after 1 season of each show, after after season 5 of The Mandalorian and season 3 of Ahsoka and the Rangers of the New Republic. We don't know when this climactic event is going to take place in the real world right now, not the Star Wars universe. So also, we don't know if they want to continue these other shows besides The Mandalorian. Like, I feel like the Ahsoka show would be something that would be continued for more than 1 season, since I would say she's one of the most popular Star Wars characters of all time. I would say that's a fact at this point. I would say she might be the most popular person out of the prequels, and it might be Captain Rex second. Now, I also just thought about this and remembered this. The Rangers of the New Republic could be the ghost crew that's left. Because you gotta think, Hera's obviously going to stay with this the whole way through. Now, we don't know where Zeb is. Zeb could have gone back to his home planet, but I don't think he did, because he went and brought Callus on a rebel ship to show him his homeworld, to show Callus that he didn't wipe out Losats. So I think the Rangers of the New Republic could also be the Ghost Crew, which would be Hera, Jason Syndulla, Hera's and Kanan's kid, which would be another reason Hera would, obviously the entire Ghost Crew, including Sabine, wants Ezra back. Hera would also want him back to teach Kanan and her kid and teach Jason. Because I think we've already seen that Ahsoka doesn't want to train anybody. Because one, she's left the Jedi Order, so she doesn't. Now, Jason Syndulla could also be trained by Luke Skywalker, like Grogu. I'll be honest, I don't know if we see Grogu in The Mandalorian. I don't know if we see Grogu at all anymore. I think at some point we do see Grogu. But I don't know if we see him in season 3 in The Mandalorian at all. Now, okay. For like an extended, for like an entire, like I feel like there's going to be at some point where Din goes and visits Luke Skywalker with Grogu. Because I don't think he's going to be able to stay away from Grogu. I don't think he's going to be able to stay away. I think he's going to have to see Grogu. I don't think he'll be able to resist. So I'm at 36 minutes recording right now. And I spent over a third of that on the Bad Batch TV show, which should show you how much of a Clone Wars fan I am. And then the fact that I said the Bad Batch will be Rangers of the New Republic, which that one's a little boring. That one's a little boring. I think the most realistic thing is the Rangers of the New Republic is a Cara Dune show, but that's the thing I want it to be the least. Because don't get me wrong, I like the Cara Dune character, but like my other two options that I want it to be, I find a lot more interesting. Ooh, the Rangers of the New Republic being the Ghost Crew. Okay, so let's think who that would all entail. Chopper, Hera, Zeb, maybe Sabine, and then Jason Syndulla. I think Callus would be involved. I think Callus would be a part of the Ghost Crew at this point. But I don't know. In the epilogue, they call Jason Syndulla Spectre 7. So you got Hera, Kanan, Chopper, Sabine, Zeb, Ezra, Jason. I don't know. But like, I mean, they were a crew of 4 before Ezra joined anyways. Well, I guess 5 if you include Chopper. The question is, with Jason being that young, like he's 9, I think. If I'm doing math right, he's no older than 9. Like, I don't think. So like, would they really have him already in the rebellion by that point? I don't think so. Because I don't think they would want to have... I think Hera would understand that Kanan would want that. But we all know that... Well, the Ghost was in Episode 9. The Ghost was in Episode 9. So, either somebody is still... Hera gave the ship to somebody, and Jason Syndulla is the only one left, and he's the one flying it, and he didn't become a Jedi at all. Or Hera's still alive in Episode 9, which is what, like 30 years later? So I guess my hopes is the Bad Batch, to really quickly summarize it, I hope the Bad Batch comes out this summer. I think that's possible. I hope they don't follow Order 66, leave the Empire, and join the Republic. Join the Rebellion. Now, I don't see that all happening in Season 1. Also, I'm very interested to see how Echo does with the group. I'm very interested to see how Echo does with the group. don't know anything about Boba Fett show. It's the show I care the least about. Mandalorian, I think, is going to be a lot of fighting for supply. I think it's going to be a lot like Rebels season 1 and 2, where they're building up for, where they're building up an army for retaking Mandalore, kind of like how the Rebels were building up to take back Lothal. I think the Ahsoka show is going to be before the Rebels epilogue, and I think it's going to be Ahsoka finding information on where Ezra is. Now, there's also a chance it's not before the epilogue, and it's basically her and Sabine going and trying to find the world beyond worlds together. But I think it's going to be... I think there will be multiple episodes with Sabine in it. But I think it's going to be... I would say more than half of it's going to be Ahsoka by herself. Or with random characters that we don't know. There's also... and then there's also, where's Rex playing in this? Because I would say true Star Wars fans that have watched every Star Wars content, let's say except for Resistance, because that was solely for children. And it was also based on the sequels, which is the most hated Star Wars content out there. Mainly because of Episode 8, because why the hell would you kill off Luke Skywalker, you idiots in Disney? And so, I just lost my train of thought. And so I think between either the Rangers of the New Republic or the Ahsoka show, I think we have to 100% get a Captain Rex in live action. I would say he's... Oh, that's right. That's where I was going. I would say Captain Rex is in most people's top 10 Star Wars characters of all times, of people who have watched all Star Wars content. All the Clone Wars, all of Rebels, all the movies. With, the only thing being left out is Resistance, because that is purely for kids. I would say a lot of people would have Captain Rex in their top 10. Maybe even top 5. I would say my top 5 favorite Star Wars characters of all time, in no particular order: Ahsoka, Rex, Ezra, because I think I see some of myself in Ezra. I want to say Luke Skywalker, but I'm being honest, I'm not sure Luke Skywalker's in my top 5. Just because, with Rex and Ahsoka, there has been so much content, and that was right through my growing up stage of life. The Clone Wars was, what turned me into a more hardcore Star Wars fan and got me really hardcore in Star Wars. I had watched the original trilogy and then the prequel trilogy. I had watched those and I liked them, but, at that point, I wasn't, super into Star Wars. It was yeah, Star Wars is cool, and I bought some Lego sets when I was a kid and stuff, but, I wasn't, super into it, where I was watching the Clone Wars when the episodes dropped every week and stuff. I wasn't like that. It was actually until I was surfing Netflix one day, and I saw Clone Wars was on Netflix, and so I binged the entire Clone Wars. I think it was, at that point, I don't know if Season 6 had come out yet. I think it had. But I watched all of Clone Wars up to through Season 6, because Season 7 hadn't come out at that point. Because I liked Star Wars, and I hadn't watched any of the movies besides the first 6. So I needed to watch Rogue One and Solo, and then the sequel trilogy. And so I went and watched them all, and then it was like, and it said Clone Wars was a recommended thing for me to watch, and I said, oh, they have Clone Wars? I'm like, oh, I need to watch this, and so I binged it, and that's what got me super back into Star Wars. So I would say, let's see, top 5, Ezra, Ahsoka, Rex. Man, I'm tempted to put Sabine in there. I think I'm going to say Anakin Skywalker. I count Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader as separate. And then maybe Sabine? Like those last, like, okay, Ezra, okay, the Ezra might be a little bit recency bias since I just got finished watching Rebels again, but Ahsoka and Rex are like the two 100, they like, Ahsoka and Rex are probably my top 2. It's probably them 1 and 2, 1A, 1B, then Ezra at 3. And then I would say it's, like, again, recency bias, but I might even say Sabine's. Oh, I'm going to need to edit this. I'm going on a tangent that has nothing to do with these TV shows. Yeah, I'm not going to. Okay. Back to wrapping up. Because I got on a tangent, which I said I was going to at the beginning of this video, so. This is all for me wanting to rewatch this in the future, too. Year or two down the line. Because hopefully, a year from now, actually, who knows if Ahsoka's show will even be out a year from now, which really makes me feel sad. But so let's say Boba Fett comes out, let's say September. I think The Mandalorian Season 3 might be running right now, this time next year. Because I can see that being like the first week of January. Or maybe it's December or January. And then like February is like... Because there's going to be so much Star Wars content coming out that is it going to be like... I don't see them doing multiple shows at once. I just, like, Disney cares too much about the money for that, as well as, like, for the fact that this is live action and it's like the two people that are in charge of it are like in charge of all of them. I don't think they would be able to handle that workload. Now, I also think a lot of this has been planned out years in advance. Like, I think some of this has been planned out years. I think this foundation has been laid out years in advance. And I think it was just they didn't want to announce it because they were kind of waiting to see how Clone Wars Season 7 and then Mandalorian Season 1 went for them to plan further. But when those both popped off, I think they were like, oh, Disney Plus is going to be our moneymaker. So I don't think they're going to have more than one show coming out at the same time. Star Wars related. But let's say the Bad Batch is 12 episodes at least. At least. One every Friday. Let's say that starts in June, which would be later than I would hope. So that would be June, July, August. Let's say a month off. Let's say they don't do shows back to back to back. And they leave you, so they always leave like a month gap in between Star Wars shows. So if we leave a month gap, that would put, let's see, June, July, August. So September would be off, and you would have Boba Fett for October, November, then December off. See, that would seem kind of dumb to do December off, since that's when a lot of people are off work. which also might be a good thing because then people that are binge watching shows aren't getting new content. Anyway. So then you would have January, February for Mando, month off, and then you wouldn't have a Ahsoka show till April and May of next year. Gosh, if I have to wait an entire year to learn anything about Finding Ezra, I might lose it. I'm going to be honest, I hope I'm off on this, because I don't want to be waiting a year and 2 months to find out more on Finding Ezra. Dude, I really hope the climactic event of Finding Ezra doesn't take until 2025. Because I don't think I can wait that long. I want to know where Ezra is right now. Okay. I'm going to end this video because I'm at 51 minutes and I need to stop talking. If there's anybody that is actually watching this video that is not me, and you've actually watched the entire thing, I don't know how you did it. Because, heck, I'm probably not going to be able to do this in 10 years from now, because I'm going to watch myself and I'm going to think I'm super cringe and stop watching it. But thank you. I'm not expecting to even get 10 views on this video. Heck, I'm expecting me to not get 5 views, and the 5 I do get are going to be me. So if I get any views on this video, I'll be happy. It'll all just be icing on the cake. I don't care if you like or dislike or comment or don't comment. If you comment hateful shit, don't care about that either. It's like this. The whole point of this video was for me to look back on what I wanted Star Wars to become, and to look back and see what it did become. Because right now I'm extremely excited about Star Wars for the next couple of years. Like, I didn't even talk about like the Lando show or any of the other shows that aren't connected to the Filoniverse. I talked about just that. Didn't talk about the Obi-Wan show either. That'll be exciting. And I want to be able to look back and see, hey, was I rewarded for being this excited about Star Wars? Or was I let down by Disney? Because I think a lot of Star Wars fans knows how that's been the last couple of years. Well, it's been up and down. If Dave Filoni's involved, it's been A+. If it's been Disney running it, it's been garbage. If Kathleen Kennedy has a say in it, it's been garbage. So I'm gonna stop this recording, watch it back, and then upload it to YouTube and see how it does.